A splendid save by Bowman. 3 chances there for the Canadiens. Here's Smapdi in on the right side. The Oilers have embarrassingly catapulted the highly favored Montreal Canadiens to the very brink of elimination.
Welcome to the show. Today we'll take a look back at the best of 5 1981 preliminary round series between the Oilers and the Canadiens. The Habs were heavy favorites, having finished 29 points ahead of Edmonton during the regular season. The Canadiens surpassed the 100-point plateau for the 7th year in a row. The Habs and Oilers own the 4th and 6th best offenses in the league. But Montreal's defensive game was far superior and had netted their goaltenders the Vezina Trophy. Claude Ruel coached the Canadiens to their 7th straight division title and the 3rd seed in the postseason. They'd been upset the year before in 7 games by the Minnesota North Stars in the quarterfinals, ending their stranglehold on hockey's holy grail. Expectations were high in '81. The memory of 2 springs prior when the Habs had beaten the Rangers in a 5-game series to win their 4th straight Stanley Cup was still fresh in everyone's mind. 22 previous Stanley Cups in franchise history had set the standard. Anything short of that was considered failure. Those expectations obscured the facts. This team was aging and had lost some of its key components from its glory days of the season. Yvan Cournoyer, Jacques Lemaire, and Ken Dryden had retired following the '79 Cup. The trio had combined to hoist Lord Stanley's mug 24 times with the Canadiens. Scotty Bowman, who had coached the team through the '70s, left to be the GM and bench boss in Buffalo. Bowman had thought he was overlooked for the Habs GM position in 1978. Pollock chose Irving Grunman as his replacement instead. And by 1981, fans were already questioning Grunman's hockey acumen. With the #1 overall pick in the 1980 draft, he had selected Doug Wickenheiser instead of Quebec-born Denis Savard, and almost immediately it was apparent the wrong decision had been made. By 1981, the Canadiens were a dynasty on the decline, their championship core having begun to erode slowly but surely. They were still led by Guy Lafleur. Despite playing only 51 games due to injuries, the Flower had registered 70 points. Steve Shutt had 35 goals and 73 points, and Mark Napier added 35 goals and 71 points. As a group, the Canadiens had 8 20-goal scorers, but the strength of the team was defense. An injury to Guy Lapointe meant the big three was now only a pair. Serge Savard and Larry Robinson had won a combined 13 cups and were the pulse of the team. Ruel platooned Denny Herron with Richard Sevigny during the season, but decided to start Sevigny in the playoffs. The Oilers had entered the NHL as part of the WHA expansion in 1979. In 1981, they finished with 74 points under Glenn Sather. Wayne Gretzky was coming off a record-setting season with the Oilers. The 20-year-old Gretzky had just won his first Art Ross title, having finished with 164 points. But he had a strong supporting cast. Rookie Yari Curry finished with 32 goals and 75 points. Mark Messier finished with 23 goals and 62 points in his second year. Glenn Anderson had 30 goals and 53 points in just 58 games his first season. Others on the team included a pair of defensemen, sophomore Kevin Lowe and rookie Paul Coffey. Glenn Sather decided to start Andy Moog in place of the injured Eddie Mio. Moog had only played 7 regular season games in his entire NHL career. The Oilers had reason to be optimistic. They had split the season series against the Habs, each team winning 2 games on home ice. But the most recent game was a 9-1 drubbing. Gretzky had 5 points and rookie Yari Curry a hat trick. Following the loss, the Canadiens had turned their season around. They were beaten only 5 times in their final 30 games and had posted a 14-game unbeaten streak during all of February and into March. Meanwhile, the Oilers were also playing their best hockey at season's end. They had lost only once in their final 12 games and were unbeaten in 6 coming into the postseason. Hot play aside, the task was daunting for the Oilers. No WHA team had ever won a playoff game, let alone a series. The series was billed as Guy Lafleur against Wayne Gretzky. Goaltender Richard Sevigny had suggested that Lafleur would put Gretzky in his back pocket during the series. In Sevigny's defense, few in the hockey world had any idea yet what number 99 was fully capable of. The series opened at the historic Forum. The Canadiens had held home ice advantage in every series they had played since 1975. With 17 remaining players from their most recent cup, confidence was very high. Gretzky had only 3 career playoff points coming into the game, but early in the first period, he and Glenn Anderson worked the give and go to perfection. Gretzky's feathery pass is redirected in on the backhand by Glenn Anderson to give the Oilers the lead. Early in the second, 99 was added again, feeding Jari Kurri from his trademark spot behind the net. Kurri, playing in his first playoff career game, beat Sevigny to put the Oilers in control. The Canadiens, meanwhile, weren't able to get much offense generated, and when they did get chances, Andy Moog was there to make the saves. Early in the third, the Oilers put the game away. Gretzky making a beautiful no-look pass to Callahan, Sevigny with the shot. Callahan would add another into an empty net to seal the opener 6-3. Gretzky had equaled an NHL record with 5 assists in the game. Kurri and Callahan each had 2 goals, Coffey and Anderson adding the others. Still ahead on the show, facing the prospect of being swept at home, the Canadiens come out firing in Game 2. But Andy Moog steals the show and the Oilers' confidence grows. The Canadiens had been shocked in Game 1, 6-3. Brett Callahan scored the game winner a minute 14 into the third period. Wayne Gretzky had equaled the playoff record with 5 assists. Montreal had little time to regroup because the teams met for Game 2 24 hours later.
It has been mentioned by everybody. This is a pivotal game. The pressure is off Edmonton. It's on Montreal. The Oilers' objective was to win one in Montreal. They have done that, led by this gentleman here, Wayne Gretzky, who had just a magnificent night last night with 5 assists. Hunter is tangling over there with Lafleur in front of the penalty box, and there's a penalty coming up. Hunter does not like it. He is protesting. Here we go up the start. Guy Lafleur kind of starting this one out a little bit, taking a run at Hunter. Although he does rough him up a little bit, Wally Harris decides to make the call.
Now the check that Gainey threw in back of the net.
There are now 32 seconds left in the penalty to Hunter. Forechecking. Weir along with Gretzky. Here's Lafleur with Lambert. Over to Lambert going in for this shot. Moog was down on the short side and made the save. And this is a very crisp and brisk pace as this hockey game gets underway. Now it's Lafleur digging it along the boards. Out in front it comes. Gengras shooting a rebound. Another shot. Lafleur shoots from the goal post. And is back into the center ice area. What a sequence of scoring opportunities the Canadiens had down the ice it goes. Action is upended in the corner. Now, Tremblay, and I think that's low number 4.
Here's a look at the save by Moog earlier on Mondu in the power play. And then watch Lafleur. Bingo, right up top, and it hits the bar.
There's no score. First period, 14 minutes and 40 seconds of time remaining. There's Coffey in over the line. Coffey whipping that shot in over the left shoulder of goaltender Sevigny.
Paul Coffey scored a goal last night on an Edmonton power play. Now it's 2 for him in 2 games.
This was a funny type goal. I didn't see it hit anything, although it may have. We may get a look on the replay. He just lets a little snapshot go and bingo.
Now it's Savard clearing it into the center ice area. Lafleur left it for LaRouche. LaRouche in over the line, back to Lafleur. He shot it to the short side. Moog had no difficulty with that. Up on the right wing to center, it's Lumley. He fires into the corner. Weir does not go in. Instead, he goes to the Edmonton bench of the Canadiens. Coming down at the line, shut. Ran into Hicks. Siltanen behind the net up on the right side. Lumley tipped it to center. Gretzky is in on the line. Gretzky laying it over the other side. Kurri missed it. Now Kurri centering it. Here's Gretzky taking the shot. It's blocked by Sevigny. In behind the net, Robinson. The Oilers are leading in this hockey game 1-0 into the center ice area. Mondu. He drifts it into the corner. Uhl going in. Got it on his stick. It's wide. Now Uhl trying to get in front. He does. And it goes off the leg. Clear to the point. Robinson keeping it in, and the screen shot was wide. Back to Gengras. There's a shot. Hit the goal post. Now here's Robinson winding up. He shot it. Moe got in front of it. Here's Mondu twisting and turning from the corner. They jam in on the boards. Lumley slid in there. The play is stopped.
Well, that's a post and a crossbar for the Canadiens. They came close. Mickey, it was interesting. Here's Reggie Houle, who hit the post here a minute ago.
Now it's Lafleur trying it again. Out they come into the center ice area. Gainey back to Lafleur. Lafleur is over the line. Dropping it back to Langway. He took in. Oh, a splendid save by Moe. What a save.
And look at the save he come up with right there. Bingo.
Last night he was not tested too frequently, but he was very good on the tough ones, especially in the second period on Tremblay. And he has come up with even a better save, I think, in this period. Gretzky is on the ice. Messier gets the pass to Anderson. Anderson on the backhand. He passed it in front, and LaRouche has it, fails to clear it out. Now it comes right in front. There's a shot right on by Anderson. And Sevigny had to be very quick. Out over the line. Curry has it. Passes it back. Gretzky in over the line. Oberlin going into the short side area. And it was covered effectively by Sevigny. Over on the other side. There's a grab by Sevigny. Coffey almost had his second goal of the night.
Edmonton seems to be able to get the shots through, and they're being deflected and getting good scoring opportunities.
And right now, Edmonton has the margin in shots on goal. 9-8. Régin Houle on the left side. Here is Jarvis. Takes his time. Lafleur going in there after Coffey. Covering up. Curry, he's bumped. Now Jarvis working it on the right side. Jarvis centering it. Back to the line. There's a shot by Savard. Puck is right on the goal line. They banged away at it. So far, this Edmonton team has been absolutely magnificent, killing off penalties. Now, it's Lafleur dropping it back to LaRouche. There's the shot, and it went high. Robinson back at the point shooting it to the other side. LaRouche is on it for Montreal. He takes a look. Where is it going to go? It's back to the point. Napier has it over to Robinson. Robinson getting set. The shot is wide. At the side. Just shot it, and it went over the glass.
And the Executive Vice President of the National Hockey League, Brian O'Neill, caught the puck on the deflection.
At 5:24 unassisted in this period. It was a goal by Coffey. That is the scoring story so far, and Edmonton leading 1-0. They are now playing five-a-side, and the Canadiens, Langway, ahead to Lambert over the other side. Here's Tremblay going in, firing it, and Moog was there on that short side again. Here come the Oilers. They now have the advantage. Anderson back to Messier. Moog going in, and he grazed the goalpost with that. And there are now just 3 seconds left in the penalty. Up on the line. Tilton and over the line. Where does it go? On that shot, says Sevigny, for a fraction of a second. There's a shot from the point. Langway working his way beautifully past Callaghan. Langway over the other side to Risebrough. And it's poked out over the line by Coffey. Down on the right side. Gretzky off the board. Curry getting in front. Over on the other side, Coffey whistles the shot wide. Here's Gretzky centering it, and it's gobbled up and cleared out over the line by Houle. Here's Napier down on the right side. He has Risebrough with him. Houle moving in. Englund going in and takes the shot. A big save there by Moe. Excellent action as they go from one end to the other. Callaghan clearing him around the net. Robinson laying it to the point. It's corralled there by Fogelhead. He dumped a weak shot high. There's Napier to the other side. Régin Houle is going to the bench. Napier is a long shot. And Moog handles it very coolly. He has done it in cool fashion throughout the series. Hunter takes a shot. Here's Lumley with the rebound. Couldn't get a shot away against Robinson. Napier clearing at the center. Low. Flicked it in there, knocked down by Robinson, who headmans the puck to Lafleur. Over it goes the shot. Shot went one way and the puck the other. Silverman back for Edmonton. He's in over the line, takes the shot. And again, Smapdi does not come up with it cleanly. Canadians headmanning it to the other side. LaRouche with Lafleur. Lafleur going in. Moog plays it to the other side. 1-0. Edmonton. Lafleur bumps Lumley. In over the line. There's a shot by Hunter. And they're firing from every angle. Robinson was bumped inside the line by Lumley. They're beginning to lay the body on. Here's a break for shot. Shot is going right in the goal. And he lost it in front of the net. Out they come, the Oilers. Messier over the line to Hagman. Back to Messier. Backhand shot. And there was a big leg save there.
The Canadians have not had the lead in almost all of the better part of 4 periods now here in the form in the playoff.
They're not finishing off their plays. They seem to be hurrying a lot. They're missing the net and shot on 2 occasions. Had chances. Gingras takes the shot wide. Here's Gainey. Back to Robinson. The shot right on. Kicked out. And the Oilers clear it down into Canadian territory. Anderson is after Gingras. A half dozen seconds. Here's Régin over to Gainey. Back to and time runs out. So the Edmonton Oilers, who fashioned a brilliant 6-3 victory over the Canadiens last night, wind up leading in this game at the end of 1 period.
Once again, the Oilers had taken a first-period lead, this time on a goal by Paul Coffey. And again, the Canadiens had been unable to rally, losing 3-1. Andy Moog was the story in Game 2, leaving Canadiens snipers frustrated time and time again. Lafleur was still looking for his first goal, and the Habs were still looking for their first win. Ahead on the show, the scene shifts to Edmonton, where the intensity between the two teams increases with the Canadiens facing elimination. Just 2 years removed from the WHA, Edmonton is now 1 win from sweeping the league's winningest franchise of all time. And once again, they lean on Andy Moog and Wayne Gretzky to lead them to victory.
Over the line, dropping it back to Langway. We puck in. Oh, a splendid save.
The Canadiens were thoroughly beaten and frustrated when they arrived in Edmonton. The year before, they had lost the opening 2 games at home against the Stars, but had rallied to force a 7th game. Their prospects seemed bleaker this time around. Montreal had not led for a single second in the 2 games at the Forum, a trend that could not continue at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
Inside the Coliseum, you couldn't ask for a more charged atmosphere as the fans, in a great sense of anticipation, those who are rooting for the Oilers, and I would think that that would measure perhaps about 99 and 44, 100% of the crowd of over 17,000 in this place tonight. Here they come. The crowd is standing. Andy Moog, number 35. Then we have Edwards, the backup goalie. Gretzky, Messier, Hicks, Hunter, and we let the crowd take over. Over to Savard. He knifed it ahead. Here's Nyland at the line. He was wrapped up by Semenko and LaRiviere. Gretzky is over the line, hands it off on the other side. They shoot a big save there by Sevigny. Sevigny came out. That was neat passing. And it was Coffey who had moved up from his defense position who took the shot. So the first big break of the hockey game favors the Canadiens. They snapped that shot right on there. And Moog was very quick with that left leg. Into the corner. Stopped by Robinson at the line over the other side. Now Mondu is chasing it. To the point it goes. Picard takes the shot low along the ice. Canadians with pressure here. Here's Lafleur getting it back, and he's getting it out of the stick of Weir. That Robinson getting it back to Lafleur. Over it goes to Picard. There's the shot. Lafleur keeping it in. Now it goes to Mondu. Mondu takes a look. Here's Keith's shot at the other side. The shot. Big save. The rebound. Mondu missed it. Now Mondu from the corner getting it back to Shutt. Shutt takes a look. Takes the shot. Lets it go. It's off. A stick. And it's in there to Moe.
Teams playing 5 aside. 26 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty.
And the Canadians breaking out quickly. Langway. Ahead. And the aftermath of that, a milling about. And one of the linesmen there, Bob Hodges, almost got lost among the crowd.
Well, you know, it's upsetting to the Canadians when somebody like Doug Jarvis, a very mild-mannered chap, tries to come to the rescue of somebody like Doug Reisbrow after the exchange with Fogle and really nailing Reisbrow. I kind of wonder it might be an interference call. That's Reisbrow and Messier. There goes Fogle into the penalty box. And meanwhile, Messier and Reisbrow are still talking things over. That's as far as that's gone. So after only 9 seconds of the penalty to Réjean Houle, the 5-a-side situation is wiped out, and the Oilers are now 2 men short.
Here's a look at the play again. Bang, the elbow came up. You see it there.
3 men for the Canadians, led by Gainey. In over the line. Now, Napier getting it back to the floor. He fired it. It's goal right. Goal. A mix-up with the little goalie. Flat in the stomach.
Moog taking right off where he left off Thursday night in Montreal. A screen shot from the point. Bob Gainey not able to get a handle on it.
And there you see Moog playing in his 10th NHL game. Never mind the playoffs. It's just number 10 overall. Mickey, there's no doubt the Canadians are down. I flew out with them here last night. Traveled with them all year. They look like ordinary tourists on the airplane, of course, but I noticed that they're down. There's no doubt about it mentally. It's going to be tough.
Over it goes. Jarvis takes a look. Gainey is going in there. And he directed it in to goalie Moog. But he was alert with that stick. Now the Canadians in possession. Langway passed it. Curry cleared it right on the Jarvis' stick. He was being checked by Curry, and his shot was wide. Now the Canadians forced back into the center ice area. Here's Coffey rolling it into the corner for Gretzky. Gretzky bodies Langway. Houle has 42 seconds left and Fulton 49. Now Napier with that head fake, digging in on the right side. He centered it, but tied up was shot in front by Curry. Here's Langway playing it in front, and it went all the way to the corner. Canadians have had some fairly good pressure in this game. They've been shot by shot. He was way off the mark. Curry just missed that pass into the center ice area. It's back into Canadians territory, and turning is Engblom. The pass goes to Robinson at the line. Robinson trying to shake off Anderson. Anderson straight with him. Here come the Oilers. Silverman is in on that right wing. He's cutting around the net. Trying to get it back to the line. There's the shot. Big shot. It's in front. And the Canadians now have the advantage. 3-on-1. Robinson over the line. 3-on-2. There's a shot by Robinson. He was wide with it. Vogelin is out of the penalty box, so they are playing with a full complement. Offside. Messier had difficulty picking up the pass. Finally, he cleared it in. Robinson ahead. Bombay launched it. And it's a big
Canadians in possession, and yet failing to clear the zone. The puck ends up in the net. Second shot of the game for Edmonton. They lead 1-0.
There you see Lambert trying to get it. The puck coming right to Hagman. A quick wrist shot on the short side.
Curry is tied up by Gainey. 3 Oilers come down to the line. They're over the line. There's a shot right on by Gretzky. That was a good shot because he kept it low. The Oilers are buzzing around. Now it's Gainey. A pass on the right side. Jarvis going in front of the net. The shot by Napier. It was off a stick wide. Gretzky giving it to Coffey. Coffey's going to pick up his own pass. Legit Canadian. Now Coffey turning at the point. He takes a look. Feeds it in there. And it went by Anderson and Langway. Lafleur is not making the moves he used to make. Messier is cruising up on that right side. Messier goes to the corner. He would be content with a whistle if he can get one here, but he's not going to get it. 10 seconds left in the penalty, and here's Lafleur coming out over the line. Into the center ice area with Deeney along with Acton. Over the line, back to Acton. Takes the shot, rips it wide to the side of the net. Anderson clearing it. The penalty has expired. Here's Hoagland with it. Hoagland shoots it back into Montreal territory. And there's a quick change now for both teams. Siltanen. Over to Gretzky. Gretzky's across the line. Back it goes. Callaghan and Johnson. And Crosby missed it. Canadians coming out. Lambert moving in. There's the shot. It's blocked. Then the Riviere, after making that good block, he really took his man up. Lambert. But all the way down the ice to Savigny. Here come the Canadians. At the line, Engblom is bodied by Callaghan. Now it's back to the line. Here's a breakthrough. Gretzky going in on goal. And it's knocked off his stick. It's centered right in front and cleared away. Here's Gretzky again. There's a shot over the top of the net from the stick of Curry.
Gretzky and all alone between the two Montreal defensemen. They did a good job.
Anderson trying to get in. Savard gives it to Mondeau. There's another bad pass. Now up on the right side. Anderson going to the corner. Anderson sending it back. The shot from the angle by Hagman. 4 minutes and 22 seconds, the time remaining in the opening period. It is 1-0. Now Jarvis over the line. A pass right on. An Oilers stick. Here's Coffey in on the right side.
Well, that's the kind of goal that the Canadians really can't afford to give up. A very innocent play. A simple wrist shot by Cobb.
15:56. I don't know whether you can pick up that announcement. The kick is given up to you. In over the line. There's the shot. And Savigny got his right leg on it. Robinson ahead into the center ice area to shot. Shot. In on the line. Takes the shot. Hard shot. He got it. Up on the left side. Moore is jammed out of the play by Anderson. There it is at the line. There's the shot. And Moore makes another big save, this time on Trombley. The Oilers are leading the Canadians 2-0. There's the shot right on by Robinson.
The Canadians, to me, Mickey, don't have the intensity out there that they need in a situation when they're down. It's almost like a continuation of what happened in Montreal.
Dick, I really, you're right. They're not playing up to their capabilities, but I really think the Oilers are unnerving them.
The Canadiens had outshot the Oilers 13-9 in the opening period, but found themselves trailing 2-0. Matty Hagman and Paul Coffey were the goal scorers for Edmonton. Ahead on the show, the Canadiens were now only 2 periods away from suffering the most humbling defeat in their playoff history. But amazingly, it appeared that superstars like Lafleur, Schutt, Robinson, and Savard were no match for Gretzky, Moog, and the rest of their Oiler teammates. The teams had exchanged 4 goals in the second period. Wayne Gretzky had scored to put Edmonton up 3-0, but the Canadiens had rallied on goals by Brian Engblom and Steve Schutt, pulling the Habs to within 3-2. But a breakaway goal with a hair over a minute left in the second period had doubled the Oilers' lead. Trailing 4-2 going into the third, it was do or die for the Canadiens.
In all 3 games, every time the Canadians have done anything and got something going, got a goal or something, the Oilers have come right back and responded very quickly and turned it the other way and taken the momentum back away from the Canadians. I don't think there's any question that Montreal had its best 10 minutes of the series in the, I'd say, in the middle part of that second period and really had it going. Now we'll have to wait and see what happens again. They're down by 2 again, but as Danny mentioned, possibly the last period of the year for the Canadians, and of course, I guess a lot of people just waiting for them to start breaking out, but the Oilers just keep putting that pressure on them and preventing it from happening.
It's slashed in from the right side. Now, Hicks lost at the Savard. Lafleur over the shot, 2-on-1. Over to Mondeau. Going to get a goal. Firing in. Rebound cleared at after Moog had made the save. Canadians, everybody up for the face-off. Now Coffey to the other side. Robinson is going to keep it in. From the other corner, Coffey. Gretzky takes the pass. Gretzky to Curry. 70 was coming up. That fake pass, and then Gretzky slid it in there. Here's Deany coming in, and he ripped that shot off the stick of LaRiviere, and it's over the glass.
The Edmonton Oilers are leading the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. Hagman, Coffey, and Wayne Gretzky with 2 goals. Scoring for Edmonton, Brian Engblom and Steve Shutt scoring for Montreal.
Canadians tottering on the brink of elimination. Fighting back here, trying to tie it up. But they're up against a tough, well-disciplined, well-coordinated hockey team led by that fellow there. Gretzky over to Callaghan. Callaghan shooting it off the arm of 70. Gretzky's been outstanding again tonight. For those of you who have just joined us, he has 2 goals and an assist. One of the very spectacular variety. There's a shot. Gretzky was there. It's centered. Gobbled up by Robinson. Robinson to the right side. Hands it out to Napier. Back to Robinson. Jammed under the plate. By LaRiviere. Into the corner they go. And they get a whistle for a face-off.
For the last time they were swept in the series, that they did not win at least 1 game in a playoff round, the finals of 1952. And they lost 4 straight to Detroit. Since then, they have always managed to win at least 1 game in a playoff round, and except for last year, they have always played best of 7 rounds. They have never since then either lost the first 3 games of a series. So this is something new for the organization.
Now behind the net. Coffey. Gretzky's moving up on one wing, Curry on the other. Now it's back on the left side. Jarvis putting it in there. Gretzky gets back there and takes over. Now he drops it into the center ice area. In on the line. There's pass over front. Back it comes. Coffey playing it in along the board. Callaghan into the corner to Curry. Back it comes to Coffey. Now back over the board. Coffey takes it. And a big save there by 70. Oh, that deflection came right in. Now the Oilers starting back on the left side. Coffey comes to center. Clearing it in. Back comes the line. Blistering shot from the line. Silverman took that shot, a rising shot, and the play is stopped. 11 minutes and 5 seconds, the time remaining in regulation time. And now I notice that Edmonton has taken the lead in shots on goal, 22 to 21.
You know, Daddy, the Oilers have not played that well here in the first 9 minutes of this third period. Been rather sloppy in their own end in the center ice area. Outside of the power play, they had some good chances, but the Canadians just unable to take advantage of it.
Guy Lafleur on the bench right now has been almost entirely shut down by the Oilers checking, in particular Dave Hunter, through this series.
The Oilers have done a lot of shooting from center. Now Robinson clearing it in there. Gretzky is upended inside the line. There's a shot. A blazing blast over the top of the net from the stick of Ray-Jan Oul. And of course, the Oiler fans feeling a penalty should have been called. When Gretzky was upended, there's a shot off the leg. It's picked up. Curry ahead to Callaghan over to Gretzky. Gretzky going in, firing it. And a big, big save by 70.
Well, the Gretzky goal at 18:56 in the second period has put a damper on the Canadians a bit, Mickey.
Back to Savard. Picked up by Hicks. Here's Anderson ahead to Messier, cutting it on goal. And blocking it on the short side in the final analysis in a routine fashion with 70. Here's Messier over to Anderson. Anderson getting set. Big save there by 70. Rysbrough coming down, an excellent move by Rysbrough. Rysbrough coming in off the left wing board. John is blocked at a right in front. And it's dropped wide by Deany.
3:40 left in the game, regulation time, and the Oilers lead the Canadiens 4-2. Danny Gallivan.
Now Langway. He hits Mondeau with it. Mondeau wanting to go for the shot, and it's blocked back by Moore.
I was chatting with Ed Mio, the injured goaltender of the Edmonton Oilers after the second period, talking about young Mo coming into play, and he said, hey, all the better for the hockey club. You know, Mio's going to be back probably if they go on to another series, and he said if he can do the job, more power to him.
That was right on.
Canadians have called a timeout here with 1:14 left in the game. Sevigny will be out of the net. They'll go with 6 skaters.
Canadians with 6 attackers. Now the puck is loose. Here the center. Lafleur is on it. It's blocked. Risebrough playing without a stick. And it's cleared in by shot. 1 minute remaining. More in the third for Edmonton. And the supporters of the Oilers sense that the jig is up. That they have won this series. In the unimagined sweep of 3 games, unimagined in the minds of most people. Now down the ice of Ford. After it goes one way. So it's all over. 37 seconds remaining. Acton is out there. Acton, I think, tonight has been the best forward for the Canadians. Engblom has played a strong game, too. Now here the Tommy is Gretzky going to get breaking on goal, getting some. It's all over. Edmonton Oilers. They're out there to mob Andy Moe. Canadians go out to commiserate with Sevigny. And the Oilers, there's Robinson. The Oilers mobbing their goalie. They win it 6-2. They sweep the series. From the 3rd place Canadians, the Oilers finish in 14th place.
And so we have the traditional post-game handshake at the conclusion of a playoff series. As the Montreal Canadiens line up to congratulate the Oilers. And Mickey, this wasn't the kind of a series when you could say, well, that's an upset because everything went their way. They got all the breaks, what have you. The Canadians tried. They were telling me yesterday, we're skating. We're just not skating in the right places at the right time. Guy Lafleur congratulating the Oilers. Full value to Edmonton for the victory. And really, it was full value from the first 5 minutes of the first game.
It seemed appropriate that the man who dominated the series would put the exclamation mark on the most incredible sweep in league history. Gretzky had capped off Game 3 with a hat trick. Incredibly, the Canadiens did not hold the lead for a single second during the entire 3 games. The Habs had been outscored 15-6 in the series. Edmonton would lose in the following round in 6 games to the Islanders, who would become 2-time Cup champs later that spring. Meanwhile, the loss to Edmonton would cost Claude Ruel his job. Bob Barry was named the Canadiens' new head coach on June 3rd, 1981. Ahead on the show, the Oilers' sweep set the stage for their domination of the league during the 1980s. They would reach the 100-point plateau 6 straight seasons, set countless individual and team scoring records, and their incredible offense would help establish Edmonton as the city of champions during the decade. A year later, in 1982, the Oilers would suffer a humbling upset of their own. Edmonton would blow a 5-0 third-period lead in game number 3 of their opening round series against the Kings. Steve Bozak tied the game with 5 seconds left, forcing overtime. And 2:35 into overtime, rookie Darrell Evans beat Grant Fuhr with a quick shot to win the game. The Oilers, despite finishing 48 points ahead of the Kings during the regular season, went down in 5 games. A year later, Edmonton would reach the finals, but again, their season would end in disappointment.
It comes in front. Here they come. Empty net. Score!
The shocking upset at the hands of the Kings and the loss in the final to the Islanders left some wondering if the Oilers would be able to win a championship because of their offense-first mentality. But with the Islanders trying to complete their drive for 5, it was Edmonton's thirst for their first that prevailed. They knocked off the four-time defending champs in 5 games, and for the next 7 years, it truly was either the best of times or the worst of times for the Oilers.
20 seconds to play. Islanders fight for it on the boards. Right in front of comes clear down the ice. Empty net goal! This city will never be the same. Never be the same.
To Huddy, to Coffey, a drive, walks in front of the net. Gretzky scores! Gretzky on the rebound. Stolen by Messier, who's in the clear. Scores! The Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup champions.
Gretzky with Terry Johnson to beat. Cuts inside. He likes that move. Goes to Napier. Napier shoots one. And Bruno made the make save. Oh, Gretzky loves to come laterally across the ice and make that play. Barrison now drills it in behind the net and goes to the bench as the Flames chasing the fly. Oh, it's right in by Smith. It goes in the net. Smith put it off his own goaltender. He did. And the Flames played great at 2. Unbelievable. Smith put it in front. It came off Muir and bounced in behind it.
Anderson can't control it. Howe punches it away. Anderson following up once more. Big drive. Scores!
Tikkanen. He's got the touch. Gretzky scores! It's all over but the shouting. Let's listen to some of the shouting. Messier gets the first skate with Lord Stanley's hardware.
I'm a mess. I wouldn't do this. But as I said, there comes a time when
catching up. He's in. She scores. Klima gets the goal for the Edmonton Oilers here. The Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup champions 1990.
Either the Canadiens or the Oilers were in every Stanley Cup final for 8 straight years, from 1983 to 1990. The teams combined to win 6 cups during that span, with the Oilers capturing Lord Stanley's mug 5 times. Ahead on the show, collectively they would form a dynasty in Edmonton, but individually and with other teams, members of the 1981 Oilers would rewrite the NHL record books over the next 2 decades. We look at some of the incredible achievements next. Beginning with Serge Savard in 1986, 7 members of the 1981 edition of the Canadiens ended up in the Hockey Hall of Fame, 6 of whom spent the majority of their careers in Montreal, winning Stanley Cups and achieving a lot of individual successes. At the time of the series, pundits viewed this series as one of the most shocking upsets in the history of the game. But in time, the hockey world would come to realize that the 1981 Oilers were on the threshold of a dynasty and full of future Hall of Famers. Over the next 2 decades, members of the 1981 team like Gretzky, Messier, Coffey, and Curry seemed to be involved in rewriting the record book and leaving indelible marks on the league with both the Oilers and as they joined new teams throughout their careers.
Here is an empty net chance for Gretzky with 5 seconds. He's moving in. Score! Isn't that what can you... 50 goals in 39 games.
Gretzky is moving out. Gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky shoots. Scores!
Number 500. Yari Curry looking for his 500. Curry shoots. He scores!
Graves taps it ahead. Messier! There it is! Number 500 for Mark Messier.
Now to Krushelnyski. Gretzky breaking into the clear. He has a breakaway. It's the goal post. Krushelnyski scores.
Coffey looks toward Murphy. He likes to play it to the other side to Cullen. Centers it in front. They score! Stevens from Cullen. Coffey will get an assist, his 1,000th NHL point.
Tough night for Bookeboom, and the Flyers have been able to capitalize on a couple of his mistakes.
Steele Messier in a score, and that was Anderson. And for Glenn Anderson, his 400th career goal, and for Messier, his 1,000th career point.
Getting it ahead, intercepted. Anderson pokes it free. Anderson over the line, going to the net, backhand shot. Score!
The rest of the Leafs come off the bench to congratulate Glenn Anderson.
Up to Robitaille. Robitaille with Gretzky trailing. Gretzky looking. Yari Curry. McSorley to Gretzky. Scores! He did it! He did it! The greatest goal scorer in National Hockey League history is Wayne Gretzky.
Oilers get the draw, and here's Lowe lifting it up the glass to the line. Duchesne knocked it down. Golfs it to the side of the net. Taylor to Gretzky. He scores! Wayne Gretzky has tied it and broken Gordie Howe's record.
Gets it to Kovalov. Gets out of the zone to Messier. This is it. Score! A night to remember at Madison Square Garden as Mark Messier has become the second leading scorer in NHL history, passing Gordie Howe.
Pass goes off. McSorley right to Gretzky, who's on the ice. Ahead now, Donato to Sandstrom. In on goal, a shot, he scores! The fine work of the Gretzky line again comes out. Thomas Sandstrom's going to bury it. But again, everyone here happy to see Wayne Gretzky scores 2,000. It's not a broken record. It's a milestone.
And Zazzle takes the puck away from Robitaille. Robitaille gets it back center. They score! Gretzky scores! And the Los Angeles Kings defeat the Maple Leafs.
Moving it over the devil line, cuts to the slot, feeds Messier, backhands, he scores! Messier has tied it at 2. Drops it for Kovalev, left circle, slap shot, save, rebound, score! Messier! Messier! And the Rangers take a 3-2 lead. Messier gets it back, shoots it all the way down, he scores! Messier hits the open net. That's the hat trick for Captain Mark Messier.
Well, New York, after 54 years, your long wait is over. Captain Mark Messier, come get the Stanley Cup.
The Messiah has delivered.
But in 1981, when they were still unproven and the league was naive to their full potential, they shocked the hockey world by sweeping the NHL's most storied franchise. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.